Roblox doesn't allow spaces in usernames. This is a fact that anyone who's created a Roblox account before knows all too well. I'm sure that, for many of us, when we were 6 years old and trying to create our first Roblox account, we all tried putting in the first name we could think of. Our real name, only to find that usernames may only contain letters, numbers, and underscore. So, we dejectedly took out that space, maybe replaced it with an underscore, maybe tacked some numbers at the end, and called it a day. But why? Why does it have to be this way? What's so bad about a space character? It's literally just a way of separating words, just like an underscore. Where's the harm in that? Well, what you might not know is that Roblox themselves once asked that very question, came to the conclusion that there was none, and paid dearly for it. How did they pay? Well, I'll tell you right after I tell you about this video's sponsor, Digigods. This is a Digigod. It has the power to build and play anything it wants, and in the new multiplayer sandbox game Digigods, you get to play as one and wreak absolute havoc. Digigods allows you to simulate pretty much anything in VR with your friends. I'm talking puzzles, FPS games, giant robot fights, you name it. If it doesn't already exist, you can turn into a giant Digigod and build it yourself. The possibilities are endless. And right now, they're celebrating their official launch onto the Meta Horizon store by releasing their biggest update yet, the Medieval update. With new building blocks and environmental assets, you can build vast medieval towns, castles, and fortresses. Or if you prefer to fight your friends, you can try sword fighting and archery. And of course, no Medieval update would be complete without a fire-breathing dragon. From one dragon to another, this is pretty heckin' cool. As if all that isn't reason enough to give the game a try, Digigods is also offering a new limited time bundle alongside this update. The Sir Gregory skin, the dragon variant, 2 new eye cosmetics, and 10,000 KOs, which are the currency of the game. If all that sounds cool to you, I highly recommend giving the game a try. And if you use this special link, you can even have the chance to win a free MetaQuest 3S on behalf of the developers. Hope to see you in game! Let's go back in time to mid-2006. Roblox had launched to the public just a couple months ago. Users were slowly trickling in via online ads, and CEO David Baszucki and his tiny team had no idea of the monstrously big community they were about to create. They were just happy to be getting any users at all. They didn't much care what they called themselves, so long as it wasn't blatantly inappropriate or contained weird special characters. As far as 2006 Roblox was concerned, spaces were totally fine, but they forgot to consider one crucial thing. Not only did they not care whether or not spaces existed in usernames, they didn't care where in the username you put them either. You could put them in the middle of your name like most people would, but you could also put them at the very beginning or the very end. This meant that you could very easily impersonate anyone you wanted as long as the character limit allowed you to by adding extra spaces to the end of your username. Want to scam a bunch of kids by making them think you're popular forum moderator JacobXXDuel? Well, you can't because display names aren't a thing yet, but you can take the username JacobXXDuel with a space at the end. Completely undetectable from the real thing. Obviously, this couldn't continue, but rather than fix it so that you could only put a space in the middle of a username, Roblox decided that spaces were too dangerous to allow in general, and removed them and underscores from the list of allowed characters in December of 2006. Years later, they would re-allow underscores, but to this day, it's still impossible to create a username with a space in it. I guess it's kinda easy to mistake Roblox for Roblox if you're reading really fast, so in the end, it probably was the smartest move to get rid of them entirely, but it's still disappointing. In the time spaces had been allowed in usernames though, hundreds and hundreds of users had put them in their names. Now that the space was a disallowed character, what would happen to them? Would they be banned? Would their usernames be reset? Well, as it turned out, they had nothing to worry about. Roblox just let them carry on as they were, which was a blessing and a curse. See, the Roblox community has only grown exponentially since its foundation in 2006, and as more and more users have joined, the hundreds with spaces in their usernames have stood out more and more against the hundreds of millions that cannot and likely will never have a space in their name. They're incredibly rare and bound to catch a lot of people's attention. This makes them very valuable to account hackers. As time has gone on, more and more of these accounts have fallen victim to hackers. And when such an old and rare account comes online after so many years, more often than not, people notice and report it to Roblox. And when the account is that old and its true owner hasn't been online in years, the easiest course of action for Roblox to take is usually to ban it. Thanks to a certain data breach, this has happened to a majority of the accounts with spaces in their names. It's not just a small population of accounts, it's vanishingly small. The other day, I was browsing the forum archives, and I came across a list someone made in 2014 of every single space username that's ever been created, regardless of if they were banned or not. I wanted to read out the entire list in full for this video, but it took me around 30 minutes to do so I instead decided to read only the ones that weren't banned, which narrowed down the list pretty heavily, to say the least. John Doe, Jane Doe, Crazy Eddie, Mac Workin, Steel S11, Boxbot, Ant-Man, Nick Ivy, Code Monkey, I Am a Robot 3, Billy Talent 10, Dubbo, Killer Block, Dan Man, Blade Zero, King Kill, T-Man, Space, Lego Man's Return, War Man, Matt Dusek, Bam Margara, Lightning Power, Lord Rune 126, Jamie Wachala, Mastermind 1000. Do you know me? Do you? The Iceman, Desi Dude, Grimy Reaper 10 got it. Bartender, Big Gun, Defender, Space, Cordian Plascota, Space, Dylan Devil 1, Ripper 989, Moose Bot, Clone Camander, General Joker 13, Krus Kilderstroch, The Dan Man, Master Malak, Thunder Boy, Snake East 97, Young Tech, Cool Killer. I've never seen this show, I don't know how to pronounce that name. Shut up! I don't know. Say it again. Uchiha? Okay. Sasuke Uchiha Lover. Zero Man. Custom Robo 1. Paul Damon. Space. Bren 609. Halo Lover Andres Get. Shadow and Kirby. Deleco. Space. Mike Truth. Chan 49. Skateboarder. Space. Alpha Brick Master. Warrior King. Mo 49. Be Beautiful _ me. Money Guy 32. Hero Apoc Da. Go Sonic. Fredman. JT. Killer 05970. Bro dropped his zip code. Pizza Chef. Lawrence Yamat. Familiar face on this channel, actually. Soup 3er Man X. Dragon Boy. Max's Minion 1. Yugi Moto 295. SL800. Junkie. Space. Lord Vader. Sickest Kila, Mac 25, Lord Vol, Patsy Galvin, B Baljosh, Bowley Guy, Onage Rank, Mini Mike 111, The King 187, Girl Trio, Roblox 2, Space, Martin Jr., General Mooney, Killbot 122, Tyman 100, Straight Gangsta Mac, Greg Clock, Soup 3er Man 007, Jungle Beast, Dylan, Space, Blockman, Nova Z, Green Snake BC, Space, Ben Kenobi, Ghost Rider, Caleb the Killer, Danger Zone, Luke Jacobuilder, Space, Eternal Oblivion, Jet Li, Alex Video, C Train, Space, Obuon, City Workers, Tamagirl, Renetta Pate, Killer Diamond, RVB Sarge, Space, Putter, Boy 11, Austin Dale, Chunky A, Cody Dude, Levi, Space, The Master of Pie, War Master, Space, The Beast 666, Darth Vader, Crazy Monkey, Young D, Neo 20444, Rebel Joe, Space, Zognaut, Gage Rage, Space, Dark Block of Evil, Louis Bazan, Joey 24, The Halloween Spirit, Nick Bentley, Rocket Beam, The Carnival, Luke the Zax, Dope Boy Mike, Roblox Alpha Test, Space, K666, Space, Dead Meat 252, Elvin Pet, Daniel K, Luke Skywalker, Corey 1285, Warlord Killer, Ethan Santiago, Red Heat, Game Winner, Wing Lee, Shootout 123, City Under Fire, Robert Townley, The Psycho, Bionicle James, Monkey's Rule, Random Stuff, Jagged Bacon, G-Unit Soelder, Big Country, Space, Big Head, Master of Fire, Flight, Space, Spyro, Matthew Jr., Broken Yoke, Space, MX vs. ATV, Lil Dis, Levi 182, Avon Xlation, Space, Spyro, Space, Jacob XX Duel, Space, Ganon Rules, Space, Izon, Kill 12, Kill 955, Captain 234, Fighter 49er, Space, Japanese Castle, Space, LP Hockey Player, Space, Miso Ichie-san, Space, Red Sox 101, Space, Kierman, Space, Yoshi 1098, Space, I'm the Queen, Space, Gonima, Space, Polenta, Space, Underman, Space, Roblox 245, Space. 4 minutes long, nearly 1/5 the length of the original recording. That means roughly 80% of all 06 accounts with spaces in their usernames are banned. Before moving to the final section of this video, where I'll talk about the status of space usernames today and what the current and future state of space usernames is, I want to talk about some of my most favorite entries in that list, as well as some of the most iconic. Like I said before, almost all of these except for staff accounts are likely hacked now, but at the end of the day, it's not the person who uses a Roblox account that makes it inherently cool, it's what that person chooses to do with it. Some of these hackers have really made themselves at home, and I think it's interesting to look at, regardless of whether they really deserve to be there. Starting from the top of the list, we can't talk about iconic space usernames without mentioning John and Jane Doe. If you're an active member of the Roblox community, you've probably seen them mentioned at least once. But if you joined after 2017, which is 7 years ago at this point, goddamn, you might not know what they're so famous for. Their story honestly deserves its own lengthy retrospective video, but to put a long story short, everyone thought they were gonna hack Roblox on March 18th, 2017. This wasn't just a fringe rumor being hyped up by small communities of children either. All of the biggest Roblox YouTubers back then were talking about it. So much hype was built up for March 18th. Everywhere you turned in the weeks leading up to it, you would see people warning you not to play Roblox on that day. YouTubers were getting contacted by other spooky accounts like The Community and Greg, who were trying to get in on the fun. There were a ton of fan theories and lore made up about how all the accounts were connected and what exactly John and Jane Doe were going to do, and then the actual date came around and literally nothing happened. I mean, of course nothing was gonna happen. It's not exactly possible for a random hacker to permanently shut down a multi-billion-dollar platform. Even if someone did somehow manage to take down the site, Roblox would obviously just put it back up ASAP. Citation, the Chipotle burrito incident. And had anyone with a brain more developed than a 12-year-old's looked at these accounts, they would have very clearly seen that they were merely ancient test accounts made to accept certain badges and friend requests via exploits. But nothing quite unites a community like a common enemy, and given how rapidly the Roblox player base was growing and splitting apart around 2017, I can totally see why so many were receptive to these rumors. Another iconic name from this list is Matt Dusek. This is actually one of the only ones that we can confirm isn't hacked, because it belongs to a prominent former Roblox staff member. He was the technical director and chief architect of web engineering from August of 2006 to May of 2019, making his tenure at Roblox over 12 years long. He was very active in the community, constantly posting in the forums and on social media, and making great contributions to Roblox. To honor his hard work, in March of 2008, Roblox's creative director John Shedletsky made him his very own hat, the Dusekkar. It was a blue retexture of the classic Roblox pumpkin head from October of 2007, with black antlers and a yellow plume of animated fire inside it to make it extra special. This made it the first Roblox item among many more that would come out in the future to ever emit a particle effect. Unfortunately, when it was first released, it had a script inside it to ensure that only Matt Dusek could ever use this effect. It was also originally awarded only to Matt Dusek and a few select others before being made purchasable as part of the 2010 Gift-splosion event, and it helped spawn a series of retextures of the classic Roblox pumpkin head, some of which also included fire and antlers. This hat is very highly coveted in the Roblox community. To get it, you either had to be an admin or have at least 10k Robux in 2010, neither of which was an easy task. Anyone who's still active and wears it is a true Roblox OG deserving of respect, and no one fits that description more accurately than Matt Dusek himself. There's also Crust Kilderstro. While he's not active nowadays, he was a very prominent member of the Roblox community around 2007, when he was a 3D artist for Roblox, helping design hats for them. According to this leaked PM thread from 2009, which I'm inclined to believe is real since Crust actually owns most of the hats mentioned here, he designed classic Roblox Viking helm, pirate captain's hat, the classic Roblox fedora, brown cowboy hat, Roblox classic police cap, Native American headdress, yikes, Master Chef, ninja mask of awesome, and pilot hat, and designed the mesh only for racing helmet, and pretty sure this refers to hunting hat. These are some of the most nostalgic and beloved hats on Roblox, and they were all created by this one guy. Pretty insane. On top of that, he also made a pretty popular Brickbattle game back in 2007 called Superiority Complex, which sits at around 200,000 visits and is still playable today, though none of the weapons work. Moving into the more sketchy but still interesting territory, we have Killer Block. This account owns several extremely extremely high-valued limiteds, including a Void Star, which as of writing is worth 1.7 million Robux, a horde of 23 Halloween headphones hats, which totals around 450,000 Robux, and a horde of 5 Astrius hats, which totals around 85,000 Robux. According to members of the trading community, the reason Killer Block has so many copies of this item is because its owner helps project it. Projecting a Roblox limited is basically buying as many copies of it as you can for absurdly high amounts of money, making its recent average price, which contributes greatly to how a limited is valued, rise artificially. This makes the item very unstable and likely to sharply decrease in value soon after. But if you obtained a copy of the item for cheap before the projection, you would then be able to pass it off to someone who doesn't know any better for a much more highly valued item. Or so I'm told. That's how, in mid-2022, Killer Block's value randomly shot up from 1 million Robux to 11 million. At the height of their projection, each copy of these Halloween headphones was worth around 400k. A similar thing happened to the Astrius hat, and I wouldn't be surprised if Killer Block had a hand in projecting that one too. Tragically, however, Killer Block would never get to enjoy the fruits of his labors. Rumor has it, soon after he obtained all of these projecteds, the Killer Block account got locked. Roblox apparently found it suspicious that such an old and rare account was so active after all these years and reset the password. Now, its owner can only watch in horror as this Rollermon's graph resembles the first drop of a roller coaster more and more each passing day. Then, of course, there's Lawrence Yamut. I've already made an entire video about this guy explaining why he's so interesting, so feel free to watch that if you haven't already. To give a quick summary, he is, as far as anyone can prove, the oldest Roblox player who still owns his account and is not and has never been staff. Not gonna say much more than that. Again, all the little details of that account are explained in my other video. Finally, there's a bunch of accounts that are just interesting to me because I like their avatars and names. There's not much I can say about them other than that, so let's just quickly cover them all in a lightning round. Mac Workin. Very thematic, love the icy blue theme, and one of the only users I've seen actually use the Sir Rich McMoneyston III face, which is a subtle yet major flex. Lightning Power and Thunderboy. Again, very thematic. These guys are all about lightning, and it clearly shows. Bart Ender. Gotta love the custom shirt. Alpha Brickbaster. Not only do you have the single most powerful name in the universe, but you've also got the drip to back it up. I don't know what it is about this giant gold chain, transparent fedora, and minion combo, but I feel like it just works. Chan49. Very spoopy, 10 out of 10. Onage Rang. Like Lightning Power and Thunderboy, this dude was assigned a theme and stuck with it. As the kids say, bro understood the assignment. Very orange, very cool. Eternal Oblivion. I don't know what kind of avatar one would wear to best embody the concept of Eternal Oblivion, but I think this one is pretty spot on. Joey24. This one's relatively simple, but something about it just gets me. I love Halloween, and I love old Roblox, and this just feels so plausible as something you would see in a 2009 Haunted Mansion server. Bionicle James. This dude just commands a level of power and respect by default. You can tell just by looking at him that he's not to be effed around with. Looks like a Roblox mafia boss. And finally, with what might be the most unexpectedly cool avatar I've ever seen, we have Sickest Keela. I'm not normally a fan of layered clothing, but the way it's applied here, it's just so thematic and fits so well that it makes me see why Roblox added it in the first place. I don't even know how he came up with this. It's just so elaborate and detailed. It almost looks like it was made in Unity instead of Roblox. All I can say is, if this guy claims he's the Sickest Keela, I think I'm gonna believe him. And now, please stand with me as we remember some of our most sorely missed fallen heroes. Drunk I Am, Poophead, WTF Man, Tinky Winky, Revenge is a Bear, Babies Are Fat, Colin Gradner, which was created moments before Colin Gardner, Killer Pooenguin, Potty Trained, Smoke the Crack, and this name, which I can't say, but I don't know how it even got on Roblox in the first place. Spaced Roblox usernames are a dying breed, and they're likely to only keep dying as time goes on. Roblox currently has no plans for them to return as a feature, and for good reason. The potential to allow impersonation is incredibly high. However, it is still technically possible to get one, just not a custom one. one. If Roblox terminates your account, they might replace your username with account deleted your ID. I can't really find much info on what makes them do this as opposed to simply terminating the account and leaving the username alone. All I know is that it does happen. You can also file a right to be forgotten request on your account, in which case it'll be renamed account forgotten your ID and your avatar will be reset. The downside to this is that you can't play on your account, but hey, at least you have spaces. You even have parentheses, which have never been allowed on Roblox accounts ever. And of course, with the new display name feature, you can have exactly one space in the middle of your display name if you so choose. But none of those methods can compare to the objective oddity of seeing a full-on name or maybe even a sentence as a Roblox username. It's an ancient relic from a bygone era of Roblox that reminds us that no matter how hard they try to escape their past, parts of it will always slip through the cracks. Roblox is a Frankenstein's monster of modern tech broism built on top of chaotic 2006 spaghetti code, and it'll always be that way. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Well, maybe I would a little bit. That's about it for this video. I've been NitroLord, and I will see you all next time. Bye! Big thanks to Avery, Henry, Princey, Svikova789, Mech, K.Moment, E. Adamus, Peasel Polsky, Theory Periastron, Below Flames, Lucky Boy, Kelman Foz, SSS Graded, Notice Astra, and all the amazing people you see on screen for supporting me on Patreon. Patreon.com/NitroLord. A very good website.